So how's it going? You released a record today, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's COVID, so I guess this is how it works in COVID times.
It seems that way. So what have you been up to? Have you done anything exciting?
So we did the project last night, which was really cool.
Right.
And today just a bunch of interviews and I mean, yeah, just like connecting with people and getting lots of nice messages, which is really cool. And ideally, we'd love to get out and play this record at some point.
Yep. So do you think it's going to happen?
I do, but I do think it'll be sometime next year. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Because I just see they canceled or the folk festival, the Auckland Folk Festival. It was supposed to happen in January, and they
Oh,
decided
wow.
it's going to happen. So yeah, people are still kind of wary about what's.
Yeah, I mean, I think late next year, hopefully, we'll be
We
in
should
some
be.
kind of like rhythm again. Would be nice.
I hope so. So if you were playing out, would you have a band with you? What's your live show like?
Yeah, yep, I've got a band. We have been together for about 3 years now, and we rehearse every week. And yeah, we just just get on really well. A couple of them used to be in a Kiwi band called Midnight Youth, so
Oh yeah,
come from a rock background, which is awesome. So it just means that when we get to play the songs live, we really try and add that rock element. Like I like to write my songs to ideally one day play in arenas. So that's the
right.
goal.
If we all end up in an arena at some point again, that would be great. So what is it? Why do you like? Because some people like to play in little intimate joints and things, and some people love to play in big arenas. What's the attraction to you about playing in those big places?
I mean, the artists I grew up on that I love, Shania Twain and Keith Urban, and going and watching their shows and their rock concerts, and it's epic and it's huge, and I just love that big sound,
Right.
and that kind of pop influence, that can creep into country. I think is really awesome. So, like some of my favorite production would be Mutt Lang that did all the Shania stuff, who's
Sure.
also
Yeah.
done some of the greatest rock records of all
And he
time.
did a
So
few AC/DC records as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Brian Adams, and so I mean, yeah, I think that's the stuff that I loved growing up, and that's kind of what I would love to aspire to.
cool. Yeah, I remember seeing Shania when she was last year, and I was very worried. She had very high heels on, and she was moving around pretty quickly around that stage. I was like, "Oh, don't fall!"
Yeah. Oh,
Managed to
you
hold
got
it
to
together.
her. Like, anyone that can do the heels thing on stage, like, amen.
Right. So the album is called Silver Linings. So tell me a bit about how it came together. Was it all recorded in one piece, or was it done in kind of bits and pieces, or how did it come? How did it happen?
Yeah, so my producer Simon Oscroft, who he usually lives in LA and writes for Disney and produces for Disney,
Yeah.
he was actually stuck in New Zealand over lockdown living with us. So it was quite ideal, really.
Yes.
Basically getting a live-in producer, and we have a studio at my house here, and so we basically would just tuck away, each night, and if someone had an idea, we'd get together and give it a crack, and pretty much every idea we had, we wrote and became something for the record. So the majority was done, yeah, here at home. A couple of the songs I wrote over in Nashville. I've been going back and forth for the last 12 years, so there's been things that I've had, kind of just in the catalog, just waiting to kind of get their chance. Like
Right.
my latest single, "Living Free," I wrote like 6 years ago. Um, yeah, but the majority was done like here at home. Lockdown, I wrote on everything. There's a song called "Silver Linings" that I literally wrote like 6 weeks ago myself. That was great because it just kind of tied the whole record together, and I think is just like fully a reflection of the last year and a half of having to like really dig deep and just look for the positive little things that have crept into life, because there's been a lot of things that haven't gone our way with music and things. So
trying to make a living but feeling like I'm barely getting by. Everything I thought I wanted never happens on time. Everybody knows it ebbs and flows through life. Finally got a feeling something's gotta go right.
yeah, it's been a very different process to what it normally would have been, but I just am grateful that we could still make it work, and just lucky that I've got talented friends around me that could help me. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think you're a different artist than you would have been than you were, say, a year and a half ago if the record had come out then?
I mean, I think you're constantly growing and evolving and being influenced. And one thing I really wanted for this record was some collaborations. I love, like toying with different genres and putting country and pop together and
Right.
all those sorts of things. So, I had the McClymonts on one track who were a big part of my like upbringing in music, and they took me out on the road around Australia for a long time. So that was really special. Lindsay L, an American artist, is on a track, and she is like a freak guitarist and played the guitar solo, and she's just really cool. So that was cool to have her on there. And Lapani, like a Kiwi pop artist, was on a track, and yeah, just kind of trying to keep evolving and keep pushing myself because I really love pop music and I really love country, and it's just interesting trying to blend those two together.
So do you kind of find out more about your own abilities and talents when you work with somebody else, when you're co-writing and collaborating?
Absolutely. I think the best thing about this process was having Simon, my producer here at home, meant that like I could actually not co-produce, but I really do feel like I had a lot of ideas that we ended up using, or I'd sing a guitar lick, or like I just felt much more involved in that whole production process, which I loved, and something that I'd be very like, moving forth very wary of, that I want to make sure that I'm part of that a lot more in the future. Yeah.
Mm. And so what is Simon's forte? What is his strong point? What does he bring to the table?
I mean, he comes from a pop rock background.
Huh?
So yeah, he's big on melodies as well. I basically write all the lyric, and he's kind of, I guess we're quite similar in that sense. We both want to write for, like, to play arenas. So, I mean, we've got that in common. He just comes from a lot more of a pop background. So
Right.
I bring the country, he brings the pop, and it really just seems to work for us.
Cool. Now you have a song called That Summer, which I think you made a video for, and you're doing it with somebody named Josh Miranda. Is he from Nashville?
I remember we were sitting on the edge of the sand, hands were shaking, heart was racing, the sound of your voice drowned out the ocean waves crashing, and I was ready to dive right in. I can never forget the day that we met. I knew I would always love you. Life goes on, but I hold on to the memories.
He is, yes. He's an incredible songwriter. He's had a couple of number ones over in the States, and just have always loved his voice. And we released that song to radio in New Zealand with Lapani, a Kiwi pop artist as well. I did 2 versions, and
Oh,
had a
yeah.
lot of mainstream success here, which was really cool. My first single that's ever done well on mainstream radio, and that was just a really fun song to kind of like bring to life. And we shot it over at Bethel's Beach, which is a
Oh, right.
beautiful beach in Auckland. And
Yep.
yeah, so that song is kind of been like my first song to break through into the mainstream, which is very, very exciting.
And it looks like summer is approaching, so that's a good thing, huh?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be. You can go outside and enjoy it. And you also have a video for Home, I think, and there's some banjo picking on that thing. So tell me how that came together.
We were young, growing up, we were wild. Riding back roads, front seat style. Talking about the day that we leave this town. Funny how it changes when you get out. Guess everything that goes comes back around. Take me home, home. Every time I leave, it still feels a part of me. Home, home. Nothing can beat your friends and your family.
Home was a music video that we shot down where I'm from, which is around the South Island in New Zealand, a little country town called Waimate, and all my family and friends were in the video.
Right.
Which was really cool, and I just wanted a little keepsake of this moment in time, and my nieces and everybody as they are right now. I think it's nice to have that to look back on, and it was just a really cool time. We'd just come out of lockdown, so it was like a genuine, like, actual catch up with my family anyway, that we just
Right.
basically decided to have a video camera there shooting it, so that was really cool. And And then we've done a video for my new single Living Free that's not out yet, but it's epic because we shot it between Nashville and New Zealand, and we went down to the clay cliffs around Marama that are like stunning. And yeah, we shot down there, and Lindsay shot her part over in Nashville, and it's come together really well. So I can't wait to get that one out.
Cool. Yeah. So if we were COVID free and whatever, do you do a lot of traveling back and forth between Nashville and New Zealand?
Yeah, heaps. I mean, I was spending majority of my time over there, and I think that would be the dream, to kind of like spend New Zealand winter over in the States and then come back here for Christmas and the summer tourism season here. So I think it's a bit of a blessing the way it can kind of work out with the seasons here.
And do you find it an advantage or disadvantage to be coming in from New Zealand to someplace like Nashville, which is a very kind of established scene?
I mean, both. I think there's a beauty about, coming from somewhere else that, I mean, I'm constantly like inspired by being there. And I think if like I lived there, maybe I'd get a little bit burnt out, And so I love that I go there and I make the most of the time that I've got there. But I mean, it's also hard because it's a very cliquey town, and, you've got to be there to kind of be there and be accepted into the room. So it's definitely a catch-22. I'm just lucky I've got like a really great little crew of established kind of friends that I get the chance to, call up at the last minute. But definitely need to spend a lot more time there to keep growing those circles, and those writing groups.
Right. And do you just concentrate on Nashville, or do you head out to LA or New York or Chicago or other places?
I mean, Nashville's the hub, like even the pop music.
Yep.
But I do spend time in LA as well. That's where my producer Simon lives. So I kind of go between LA, Nashville, and then, I mean, New York's my favorite city in America. So I love it when I can get up there as well.
Good on you. Yeah. What do you like about New York?
I think it just reminds me of like being a kid. Like, it's in all my childhood movies that we grew up on, and there's just something very like homely, and just it's got an energy that I can't explain it, but I absolutely love New York. I really do.
Very good. So what's the plan next? Because you got the record out today, you got a video coming out of Living Free, say so. And do you think hopefully there's a tour, and are you writing songs all the time, or do you just kind of write when you need to?
I mean, I'm always writing, so I'm excited about some of the stuff that I've been writing lately, to be honest.
Right.
I've been doing it like myself and sending it to my guitarist, and he's been building tracks, and we've been working together that way, which has been cool. And we've just been booked on the Brad Paisley World Tour for next year in New Zealand, and hopefully that opens up some more opportunities around that time of year. And yeah, we just want to play some shows next year. It's been a long time sitting here waiting, and the boys are ready. Like I say, we rehearse weekly because we just love it, and we can't wait to get out and play. Yeah. Cool.
All righty. Well, hopefully we'll get to see you up here in Auckland. Are you in Auckland now? Whereabouts are you? Yeah, you are. Okay. So I can't even remember where I'm at. So everybody else is a blur. But great. Well, thanks for talking to me on the day of your release, and hopefully we'll get to see you on a stage somewhere soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
Bye.